How you doing, guys? Professor EC with, well, this one was a tough one, really. I started off, when I saw what Ben had done, and I do say it in that sense, my internal reaction was a bit of a rejection. And this has been the most difficult review and first impressions video that I've done so far concerning Jack Wolf knives. Now, let's go over a few things. Of course, we got the, and I'm talking about the Gunslinger. Now, if it didn't have the phrase in the sticker, which I left someplace else, I wouldn't have recognized it, the theme. But I don't know if you remember the movie Tombstone, it was about Wyatt Earp and the Earp brothers, and Val Kilmer doing a great personification of Doc Holliday. So I'm pretty much assuming that this Jack is Doc Holliday. And the phrase that I'm talking about is I'm your huckleberry. A phrase that Doc Holliday says to, oh, what was the bad guy's name? It'll come back to me. Anyways, so we have a Jack Wolf knives. But it's not just any Jack Wolf knife. This is the sharpshooter, the first Jack Wolf that we saw come into this world. Slip joint, traditional micarta, just a beautiful slip joint. Now, why do I say that it caused me a sense of rejection? Well, because I have fallen even more in love with slip joints. And then to see something new, it, you get that kind of sense of, wait, what's happening here? And so that's the same thing that happened to me internally. Just from the looks of it, I liked it. But then I didn't even notice, but Ben had to point it out that I was going through a very rough time, as many of you may know. But have you noticed that it's a bolster lock? And the clip, yeah, even that I did not notice. I was kind of in a hurry, and I was going through a bad phase, a bad moment, because of a close death in the family. And so, anyways, Ben pointed those out, and when I realized what he was pointing out, I realized that this was no slip joint. I realized that this was a modern locking folder. And that is why my first internal reaction was a rejection. I thought, wait a second, we're doing so good with the slip joints. I love the slip joints. I love what he's done with this and where it's going. And let me explain a little bit more on this. But first, we got the same great materials of great quality. S90V, a fantastic edge retaining steel. The camo carbon fibers or carbon fibers, which are absolutely cool. We got a backspacer on each one of them that is anodized, corresponding to more or less their color, with an exception, which that would be the pink, the bazooka pink. Why? Because I don't think you can anodize pink. You can't anodize a titanium pink, or at least I haven't seen that happen. So, and then he decided to combine with this electric, very soft blue, and I think this is. If you ask me, this is I like this combination very much. It's very subtle and elegant, so I like it a lot. But apart from that, well, we have the same titanium construction, but with bolsters and 3 flutes, or the bolster fluted, right? And you can see the gun stock pattern right there, being a clip point with a double-sided nail nick, and that's going to help in order to flick the knife, and not only flick but thumb roll. Now, I don't know about you, but I love thumb rolling my knives. It's just, I don't know, a preferred method. Of course, I enjoy the Spidey flick, but thumb rolling is just, I really enjoy it. And so we got the purple haze, the bazooka pink, the dark matter with gold, and what was this? This is the toxic green, and what was this? Storm. Never mind, I just forgot the name of it. And where was I? Okay, yeah, the 3 flutes, backspacer, particularly also in the gold. It's just very nice and elegant. This is a very versatile knife. It has a pretty good size, not too small, not too big, just right there. It'll be good for EDC. It'll be good for a nice dinner or a nice occasion, you know. And you don't have to Spidey flick or front flick. You gotta be careful because I don't want it to fall on the rest. And you can also, like I said, thumb roll. So, titanium hardware, the jimping, which is just right. So the knife construction is impeccable. The clip functions very well. I've carried mine for this last, since Friday. So I've carried mine for 3-4 days now, non-stop. And I've been using it, and well, let's talk about that. And let's put the tube away. And all right, so let's take this over here. You'll tell me later on which is your preferred color, but here we have the sharpshooter and the gunslinger. But apart from that, because it is a pattern that I do enjoy, I want to add this other gun stock that I really like as well. And so you see, I got my trifecta. Well, this one's not mine, I chose the green. That would be my trifecta of the gun stock, and I love what you see there. Really, really do. But let's get into the Gunslinger, shall we? Okay. 10,000s behind the edge. That's really, really thin. I've already sharpened mine because it wasn't that well sharpened towards the tip. So I had to I really had to sharpen it again. And S90B in stones, no problem. I really had no problem to bringing back the edge to a fantastic level of sharpness. The action on this thing, you can front flick. Listen to the acoustics, listen to the sound. It feels really light. It feels just so nice. The detent is perfectly set. And just, yeah, this is no full shoddy action. But, you know, I never really pay attention to that, or really don't. That doesn't make me decide one knife over the other. But the performance on this thing is fantastic because of that thinness behind the edge, and you got a strong blade. It's not too thin. The thickness. The stock thickness, yet it comes down to that 10,000s behind the edge. Ergos, very comfortable, at least for my large sized hands, depending on the size of glove, extra large, large size. And let's get into the meat and potatoes, because I really want to talk about that. This was a difficult knife for me. Coming from this and this, right? I've been really getting into slip joints. I'm really enjoying them. And just coming from this and from the last one, which was the Feel Good Jack, which is one of my favorite jackknives of all time, and coming from this and then jumping into a modern traditional, that was a pretty difficult. And just let me, where are my notes? That's the word I was looking for. This was a big gamble on Ben's side, and I admire that, because going from this to this, let me tell you a little bit about one of the jobs I've done throughout my life is being an interpreter. Now, when you are an interpreter, you focus on the meaning. You translate the meaning. You don't focus on the exact language, on the exact words. You don't translate, you don't interpret verbatim, that is word per word, but you focus more on the meaning of the message. And this is exactly what Ben has done, and I really appreciate that. Like I said, it took me a while, but this knife, and I had to recognize it's impeccable. There are there were a few things, a couple of things. Yeah, it wasn't sharpened. It was sharpened, but not perfectly sharpened towards the tip, right before the curve. Wasn't sharpened as well as the rest of the blade. And the anodization, I like it, but I would have liked a little bit of stronger green, just in this case, because when we take a look at the gold is just beautiful, right? It's the right color, the right tone. And if we take a look at the blue, it's a beautiful blue. I really like that blue. That anodization is fantastic. Particularly this one, out of this pack, has the best sound of all. Can you hear that ding? Beautiful. Just fantastic. Ting. So satisfying. And then we have the purple haze. That another great anodization rate right there. Even the clip, it's not as strong as the clip, but it's still pretty good anodized. And then the Arctic Storm, there we go, I just remembered. The Arctic Storm, I hope you can see, has just a matching anodization. And let me turn on the lights because, well, just because. No, I have no light. Jesus. Oh man, great. That was great. That was great. Something great. Oh man. Anyways, let's just keep on rolling, okay? So being an interpreter, I think that what Ben is doing, has done really nice, is translating a traditional knife, a traditional slip joint, from something like this that many of us love, that is more old school, that is a traditional, a classic traditional, and then translating that into this language, into modern times. So this, I think, it's kind of groundbreaking, and I think that's what Ben is doing. He is adequately and aesthetically translating a classic traditional into a modern traditional. There are many knives that have tried and to do this, and many of them have done a great job. But I gotta say, the interpretation that Ben is doing is just impeccable, and he manages to get the message, I think, get the message across from one era into the next one. So he's introducing these new traditionals into a new era. And yes, it is a timeless design and a modern interpretation. And that's another key word, another key component that sometimes we overlook. But being an interpreter and a translator, I couldn't overlook that. And of course, it took me some thought because, like I said, the first impression was a rejection. I thought, oh, okay, it looks good, but it's not a slip joint. That was my first reaction. And then trying to be professional, I just had to give it a shot. Right? And so I did. And I'm sorry about the light, but I don't know what happened to the bulb that's above my head. That is not working. But anyways, I gave it a shot, and I was, again, another characteristic from Ben is the continuous surprise from one pattern to the next. That's my dog playing with the ball, sorry. And he manages to do that even with a bolster lock gunslinger. Each and every one of them is just gorgeous. It just depends on what colors you prefer, what colors you like, right? In my case, I was after this toxic green for a long time till I was able to catch this. If I had not, I would have loved to see one in micarta, in natural micarta. That I would have also loved to see. Anyways, but if I hadn't if I hadn't taken this toxic green, I think I would have gone for the gold, the dark matter gold. It's just so elegant. So elegant. Not that I don't like the other three. Also, this would have been tied right there with the gold, the bazooka pink with this blue anodized clip and backspacer. And not only that, but it comes, if you want to take off the clip, you can take off the clip and put a filler tab that also comes in the package. I do not have it here, but they all come with that filler tab with their own color. So it would be a purple anodized piece of titanium and a purple filler tab. And they don't come with, this one has also a fantastic sound. And just how light the blade feels is just fantastic. The blade to handle ratio is fantastic. It's just right there as I like it. The only thing, I have just one quirk, and that is it just and let me see if I can. Well, yeah, it has a little bit too much weight on the butt. This one's a little bit more balanced because of the second blade, but you can feel the weight on the butt. And that's not a quirk, but that's just an observation, right? So, what else can I say about the Gunslinger? It's a gamble, and as a business person, I like this type of gambles. Now, as a collector, I am going to keep mine, of course, and I'm a little bit excited about where this can go. But at the same time, I'm more excited, or I'm also excited about what the next slip joint will be. And I don't know, maybe these two cousins, maybe these two relatives can live together in each drop. I don't know, that might be an idea. It doesn't have to be one or the other. Perhaps, where possible, perhaps just one, I don't know, the next drop, what can it be? Let me get something out. Just any. This was a great choice. Of course, this would be very hard, and I don't know how this would fit, but I love, this is one of my favorite, the Feel Good Jack. But I wouldn't mind having a Feel Good Jack and a modern bolster lock Feel Good Jack. I don't know how that would be, but I'm gonna leave that to the magician Ben Belkin, because that's what he really does best, as we can see. And from interpreter to interpreter, I think, and from collector to collector, I think that he's doing a great job translating an era into another era, introducing a new era of knives, of slip joints, and traditional patterns into a new era. So, what do you guys think? I know it's a long video. I really wanted to talk about this because it took me some time, but I think it was worth it, at least for me. Hope you enjoyed it. Professor EDC out.